Alright, so this is my sketchbook. It was a notebook that I turned into an iPad cover. So I've dropped it since down a flight of stairs, so I've got to re-glue that. But that's not, yeah, the iPad survived the drop, so that's good. Okay, so take that out for a second. So what you want to do, like everybody knows, you cut this bit out, right? The tips and tricks are, so you want, when it's closed, to have that curve on the book, right? So when it's closed, it looks like an actual, excuse all this mess, that curve there, and it looks, and it seals quite nicely. So what you want to do is, what I do is I grab a few pages thick. You don't want to cut them all the way to the top, because that leaves a weakness in the binding. So grab a few pages in. Preferably you measure the height of this, so it matches the height of this here, right? So it ends up pretty much flat with that, right? So what you do is, I had clamps, like little ones like this. So before I start cutting, I'd put this, clamp it to something or hold it up, lean it against something. You don't want to open like this, because that pulls all the paper on an angle like that, and it removes that little curve that looks good when the book's closed. So you want to have it like this, clamp the paper up there at a 90-degree angle, you know, or a little bit further, doesn't matter. Now you clamp the paper together. What I did is I cut a bit of cardboard, thick cardboard, like the back of a sketchbook, and I placed it over the top here. Then I clamped it on, right? That holds, I had about 3 or 4 of these around the outside that I could have done with more. But then what I did is, while it was clamped, and that cardboard was thinner, it was about the same size as the actual page, I get some PVA glue, just normal woodworking glue, that stuff that dries on your skin that you pick off when you're a kid, you know, you play in class with, and just run it around the paper, right? Now you don't want that too thick, because it ends up ruining the look of the paper, right? You end up with a great big globby white thing. So what I did is I would just brush some on, wipe it in, so the pages would stick together all the way around. Once it's all the way around, let it sit for it. Got to be patient. Let it sit for, 12 hours or so, and make sure the glue dries. Then just coat on another layer. Give it 2 or 3 layers, just so it doesn't pull apart. Because if you put it on too thick, you're going to raise that look of the paper. If it's too thin, you're going to have it pull apart. This is pulling apart now because, it was dropped. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over and with another layer of glue. Then what you have, the other tip and trick here is you want to have a bit of cardboard, that cardboard that I told you that I had there. You measure the size of the case protector. It's best if you have it in here. If you have, I've tried over the years different methods of just having the iPad in a book. It doesn't work because you've got buttons and switches and plugs that just you can't access. And also this is great because you can put the Apple Pencil in wherever my Apple Pencil one has disappeared to. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that bit of cardboard that I had before, that thick bit of cardboard, what I did is I measured these around the outside, right? And then I redrew it on the bit of cardboard, that square, and then I cut the hole out of the middle of the cardboard. That leaves you with that thick bit of cardboard that again you clamp down, and then you've got a template that you can just get a Stanley knife and just run around, just slowly, a few pages at a time or one page at a time. This is the hardest part. You just slowly dig, cut in, cut in, cut in, cut in, until you're all the way to the bottom of the back of the book. Now, it doesn't matter if it's too dirty in here. You stuff up, you cut on an angle, it's going to be covered anyway. Once you've cut that all the way down, again, layers of glue. This time you can be a bit thicker. Lay the glue in here. Get it nice solid on the inside. Now, then you should be right. Once you're going to fiddle and cut it a bit thicker, or, cut a little bit more out, cut a little bit more out, just adjust it until it fits nice and snug in there. Now the other trick I found is the thing, that whatever you call them, I can never remember the name of them, that sits in the book to keep your page, right? This is the trick I had here. Thread it in through your iPad cover so it comes out over the on-off button, right? Then you can yank on it. It's flat. Oh, the iPad's flat, well, which ruins the thing. So you can just yank on it, and it'll press the button and the iPad will close. Because one of the big issues is when you've got the iPad open and you close it, it's not going to switch the iPad off and it's going to go flat, which has happened here. And then you can just yank on it and it will close the iPad, then you can shut it up and go on your way. That saves, because the other, also because how do you press the button to switch it off, unless you've got you've got the timer on for 30 seconds or something, puts your screen to sleep, which I never do because I get irritated when I'm halfway through a drawing and I've got to open it again. This also allows for you to take the iPad out and sit it out so you can charge it once, because you need access to that. Again, this was in a different case that I've just taken it out. This rubber bit was in a crappy stand-up case that was too heavy, but again, sits in there, and you can take it to work in lunchtime or on the train, or even you put that on the front seat of your car. People are just going to see it's a book, right? It's just another way I always get worried about, somebody not so much stealing the iPad, but losing the artwork that's on it. It's a bit damaged. I'm gonna glue it together. The type of sketchbook is called, they come in different, called paper blanks. They come in a range of beautiful sketchbook sort of things. They're quite lovely. Found them in a newsagent one day, and over the I sat there and went, like when you go at the art shop and you go, I'll just buy one. I want all of them, but I'll just buy one. So I bought one, And I went back the next day, bought another one, went back the next day, bought another one, and there goes my keyboard. Anyway, that's how I did it. Makes it nice and snug. I've tried different methods over the years, and that seems to be the one that works for me. It works really well, except for, you know, when you drop it down the stairs, which protected the iPad anyway. Anyway, that's it. I know, just answering questions because of quite a few people have asked about it. My little hidden sketchbook, iPad sketchbook. Okay, thank you.